Welcome to Run It Back, everyone. We're glad you're here with us this week. I'm Ryan Cartman.
And I'm Gabriel Steigers. It was another winning week here in Lawrence as the weather begins to cool down. Ryan, what's in store this afternoon?
Well, leading off today, we'll go to KU football staying hot at Arrowhead on Saturday, defeating Colorado 37-21. Tyler has us covered with a recap of the action. And with only one basketball game played last week, we've got Jude to fulfill your appetite as he gives us an analysis of Bill Self and the Jayhawks recruiting strategies. And finally, speaking of KU basketball, Emmett will have the latest from on the court as the team takes on the Blue Devils of Duke in Vegas tomorrow night.
Thanks, Ryan. Coming later in the show as well, I'm talking some MLB free agency with Trevor and our beloved game show host, Cooper. But as for the trade market, the Royals made the first marquee move of the offseason, acquiring fifth-year infielder Jonathan India from the Cincinnati Reds in exchange for right-handed pitcher Brady Singer. Hopefully the first of many offseason moves for the Royals, who are looking to build on their unprecedented success from last season.
Yeah, Gabe, I think with the free agent market, we're not going to know what really happens until Juan Soto gets signed. That's really what's going to determine how everything goes. Oh, and number 11, KU Volleyball is on the home stretch of the regular season as they took home a 3-1 victory and season sweep in their Sunflower Showdown matchup yesterday in Manhattan.
And we've got a great show ahead of us, folks. Let's head over to Tyler for some KU football.
Thanks, Gabe and Ryan. Well, Saturday was a great day to be a Jayhawk as the team won their third game in a row, all three being against ranked opponents, by the way. And while it was fun seeing Kansas turn the Big 12 conference on its head and beat some of the top contenders, it was also great seeing them keep their bowl season hopes alive. But Saturday's senior day win at Arrowhead didn't come easy. It was a tough, chippy game full of highlight plays and trash talk, and it started a few days before the game. Here's what Bryant had to say about if he was excited to guard CU's two-way star player, Travis Hunter.
I'm not gonna lie. I've been waiting. I already marked this on my notes. I already know this is the game. I said I've been wanting the game all season. Yeah, this is gonna be the game.
And while some people would take that as Bryant expressing his excitement and showing some respect as he knows he gets to play against one of the best players in the country, others, like Travis Hunter himself, took it a very different way. Here's that clip.
I said, Coach Bryant, talk already. Chat, bro. Let people talk, bro.
But the talk can only go on for so long before it gets settled on the field. And this matchup was interesting, as both players made great plays against one another, with Hunter posting a stat line of 8 catches for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns to try and bolster his Heisman campaign. Meanwhile, Kobe Bryant had himself a pretty good game as well, with a number of pass breakups and 3 tackles in his final home game as a Jayhawk. But the final score is all anybody cares about at the end of the day. Well, unless you're a CU fan on Twitter, I guess. But it was clear that Kansas was the better team yesterday and did more than enough to win. One player that stood out above anybody else was Lawrence native and senior running back Devin Neal, who went for 207 yards on 37 carries on the ground with another 80 yards and 4 total touchdowns. 80 yards to the air and 4 total touchdowns, sorry. But Devin Neal put his team and his city on his back to end his senior day with a crucial win as KU looks to become bowl eligible next week with a win at Baylor. And look, football season has flown by, and I know I'm going to be sad seeing these seniors leave the program at the end of the year. But every ending is followed by a new beginning. And there are lots of new players that are about to enter both the football and basketball programs to be excited about. For more on that, I'll toss it over to Jude. Take it away.
Thanks for the update, Tyler. Over the past month, the Kansas Jayhawks have been on fire in the recruiting scene, so let's take a look at KU's most recent moves. On 24/7 Sports, Kansas football's 2025 recruiting class is currently ranked 57th among all FBS schools, with commitments from 1 4-star and 15 3-star players. The class is led by 4-star wide receiver Jaden Nickens, who's playing his senior season at Sierra Canyon High School in Los Angeles, an athletic powerhouse that has produced countless elite athletes in recent years, such as Bronny James, Scottie Pippen Jr., and Juju Watkins, just to name a few. Nickens is a unique prospect, though, as he will also be playing basketball at Kansas. Speaking of Kansas hoops, Bill Self and staff have made some significant noise as Kansas has jumped up to 3rd place in the 2025 basketball recruiting rankings. On November 1st, KU got a commitment from prized target Darren Peterson, the 3rd-ranked player in the country for the class of 2025. Peterson is one of the highest-ranked recruits in Kansas history, who will have a massive impact as soon as he sets foot on James Naismith court. Kansas then picked up a commitment and signing from 4-star Samis Calderon, an uber-athletic 6'8" wing who is ranked as the 14th small forward in the class. Calderon has been playing in the Overtime Elite League along with the newest Kansas signee, Bryson Tiller. Tiller is one of the best bigs in the class and joins Peterson as the second 5-star commit of 2025. Here's what he had to say about coming to KU.
Me and Darren Peterson have been playing together since like our freshman year at camps and stuff. We know each other pretty well, and we know how to play off of each other pretty well. And then you add Samis to it. He was a guy who can stretch the floor and athletic as well. I kind of knew where I wanted to go, and then Samis went, so it just made it even better. I feel like we already have a good connection at that 3-4 position. Just going in there, being able to compete with him every practice, I think that'll make the both of us better. It's going to be dangerous for sure.
The future is looking bright for the Jayhawks, and there are still many moves to be made over the next few months. For now, let's jump over to Emmett for an update on the current roster.
Wow, it sounds like Lance Leipold and Bill Self are making moves once again. Thanks, Jude. And speaking of KU basketball, let's talk about Samaya Nichols and the Kansas women's team. The KU women's basketball team faced off against Iowa this past Wednesday, and it was all Hawkeyes at the Pentagon. Kansas would go on to lose a tough one, but only their first loss of the season, and Samaya Nichols was giving it her all to try and avoid that loss. The sophomore guard put up a team and season high in scoring with 26 points. That is her third 20-point game this year, and she's averaging 19.6 in her hot start to the year. She's doing this from all areas of the court, too. She's very good at getting downhill and finishing around the rim, but will also score well from the perimeter, shooting 33.3%. So far as she is getting her sophomore year going, she has increased her points per game by 4 points. But also, as a player that has the ball in her hands a lot, she's getting better at finding her teammates, too. She is currently averaging 5.2 assists, which is 3 more than last year. And I know we are only 5 games in, but this is an impressive start for her season. Her performances have helped lead the Jayhawks to a 4-1 record, and they sit at the top of the Big 12. Nichols and the Jayhawks face off next on Thanksgiving morning against Pittsburgh, where they're expected to have an 81% chance of winning. And it would be no surprise to me if Nichols looks to have a big game against the Panthers to lead the Jayhawks to a 5-1. But until then, we'll take a quick break, and Gabe and Ryan will be back next.
You may not hear it at first, but it's there. Our chant, rising. On this summit, callings converge, voices unify into a chorus that sounds out for good, for greatness. Can you hear it?
Back from break as sub-state matchups wrap this week on Friday in Kansas, and as per usual, Jacob has us covered with all things high school football. And Grant Shear is back with us to bring you another NBA deep dive, and as promised, I'm talking MLB free agency with Cooper and Trev.
Here's Jacob.
Thanks, Ryan, and welcome back to another week of high school football news. We are almost done with this football season, and last Friday we were in for some exciting matchups in 5A and 6A sub-state rounds. Starting off in 5A, we had the battle of the Catholic schools, and I'm not going to lie, Aquinas just snapped Mill Valley's 26-game playoff win streak last week. So I knew there was no way St. James stood a chance, but I was wrong, unfortunately. St. James took a 10-0 lead in the first quarter and had to come back, and Aquinas had to come back and win, but they only won by 7 points, winning 24-17. St. James put up an astounding run, ending the regular season at 3-5, but winning 3 playoff games. But unfortunately, their season ended at 6-6. Aquinas is now 12-0, and they will be taking on Hayes for the 5A state championship this Saturday at Emporia State. Kickoff is 7 p.m. Now going back to Gardner. Now for the third week in a row, they matched up against our beloved Blue Valley West in the game that will decide who goes to the 6A state. Blue Valley actually had a lead at halftime, 19-13, but Gardner scored first in the second half with Braven throwing a touchdown pass to Vandenberg. The Jags looked to take a lead early in the fourth quarter, but a touchdown pass was called back due to a penalty, and then they missed their 30-yard field goal. It does not get better for them as Braven then scored on a 68-yard rushing touchdown, improving Gardner's lead 27-19. There was still hope for Blue Valley, though, as they marched all the way down the field on their next drive and scored. The score is now 27-25, and all the Jags needed was a 2-point conversion to tie the game. And they did not convert, but they still had a chance to get the ball back, but I knew it was over. There was no stopping the Trailblazers' offense. Braven broke off again for a 42-yard touchdown, and Gardner wins. Blue Valley West and Tate Nagy had an outstanding run this season, but unfortunately their journey ended Friday. And Tate, we will see you next year at KU. But Gardner gets to celebrate as they will be taking on undefeated Manhattan this week for a chance to be back-to-back state champions. That is all I have for today. Tune in next week for the last edition of high school football coverage this season. Now tossing it to Grant for some NBA deep dives.
Thank you for that rundown, Jacob. What an exciting week for high school football. The fall season might be coming to a close soon, but something that's not going to stop anytime soon is Philadelphia 76ers rookie Jared McCain. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Grant Shear, and here is this week's NBA Deep Dive. Jared McCain was drafted in 2024 by the 76ers after having a breakout freshman year at Duke. McCain enters the NBA at just 20 years old, but besides being a top projected pick, it hasn't all been sunshine and rainbows for McCain. After a picture of McCain's nails being painted surfaced on social media, mainly X, formerly known as Twitter, was shocked and outraged. Many people questioned McCain's reasoning. In an interview with ESPN, McCain simply responded to his critics with, "It helps me stop biting them, and it helps with my self-care." Many people have since warmed up to McCain, especially after his rookie year explosion. McCain came into the season as a bench player for the 76ers, but after a rocky start to the season, the Sixers put McCain into the starting lineup. After only dropping 5 points in Game 1 of the season, McCain has since dropped 18-plus points in each game. McCain has a certain confidence to him that makes rooting for him easy. This same confidence helps him lead all rookies in points per game this season with 16.6 points per game. McCain looks to continue to make noise and keep competing for Rookie of the Year in an otherwise weak rookie class. McCain looks to be the highlight of a very disappointing 76ers season. After starting the season 3-13, McCain and the Sixers look to get back in the win column and compete for an NBA championship. Now, that is all the time I have for today. Up next, you can catch the MLB free agency predictions with Coop, Trevor, and Gabe. Take it away, fellas.
Thank you so much, Grant. I'm here with my friend Cooper and Trevor. Good to have you guys here. We're going to talk some MLB free agency. We're each going to pitch a contract that we think is going to go down in the coming months over the winter. Let you lead off, Coop. What do you got?
All right, well, I got the biggest bargain in baseball. That's right, Roque Sasaki. I have him going to SoCal, not the Dodgers. I have him going to the San Diego Padres. I think he'd be a perfect fit. You know, they just lost Joe Musgrove this year for Tommy John surgery, so he will not pitch at all in the season. And 23 years old, you know, he's not going to get that big free agent money because he, you know, doesn't have the 6 years eligibility. He's 23.
Sure.
So he's just going to be a perfect fit for the Padres. And yeah, you think Dodgers because of Yamamoto and Ohtani, you know, they're going to be able to lure him in with the World Series championship. But hey, Yu Darvish, also his teammate back in Japan for the World Series Baseball Classic. I can't see why he wouldn't go there. You know, everyone thinks he's going to the Dodgers. No, I think he's going to the Padres. And I think he's going to be an ace for a long time in the brown and gold.
Absolutely electric arm. I think he'd help that staff out a lot.
Oh my gosh.
I like that, Cooper. Trev, what do you got?
So I've got what's arguably the opposite of the best bargain in baseball, Juan Soto.
Okay.
I think he will most likely go back to the Yankees. I think, no one else has enough cap space for him, as well as the fact that he was one of their main pieces that led them to the World Series in the first place. He has already turned down a $440 million deal. There's no way he doesn't get upwards of $500 million, and I think the only team that's willing to give him that much will be the Yankees. So I definitely see him going back, right back to where he was this year, and maybe with a different result next year.
He might be getting Ohtani money. Maybe not that
high.
high.
Not that high, but it'll be up there for sure.
We're going to see a big check coming in.
Yep.
I've got the polar bear, Pete Alonso. And this one was tough. He's one of the more interesting free agents coming into the offseason. There's some weird, risky stuff. Teams aren't loving kind of what he brings to some clubhouses. Teams aren't loving the inconsistency that he's shown. But in reality, he's never hit under 36 homers, I think.
Consistent.
And a team that's had a lot of problems at first base in recent years has been Houston.
Yeah.
They're really burned by that Jose Abreu signing that happened, and it's been weird since that like peak Yuli Gurriel.
Yeah.
Since he left.
Gurriel.
So I've got him headed to Houston. I think another suitor could be Washington. I don't know if they're going to want to pay for him.
Can I throw out the Yankees maybe? Yankees need a first baseman.
If Soto goes to the Mets, he might be going to the Yankees.
That's true.
Yeah, good point.
They'll want to fill the gap with
New York's getting New York, whether what team it is, New York's paying.
Yeah.
New York's paying.
New York's got deep pockets, I'll tell you that much.
I've got him headed to Houston. That's where we're at. We'll see, ladies and gentlemen. But after the break, I will be back with you, Ryan next to me, and we're going to finish the show out. Thanks, guys.
Welcome back from the break. With Thanksgiving coming up on Thursday, some of our crew decided to celebrate by playing a bit of old-fashioned backyard football.
And it just so happens that our backyard is a full-size turf field. And some surprises coming your way from Jacob with a new edition of guessing games as well, but I'm being told that's all I'm allowed to say at the moment.
Let's go over to Jacob once again.
So apparently this segment is called Bro Is Gonna Cook, so let me cook real quick. And personally, I think we should be talking about the greatest sport in America a lot more than we are, but that's okay. I'm obviously talking about college football, and there are many issues that I feel like the sport needs to be addressed, and no, it's not the complete and utter destruction of K-State. I am talking about if I were president of the NCAA, I would be fixing these messed up conflicts. Now, this 2024 season is a season like any other we've ever seen. We have a new 12-team playoff, and the Pac-12 basically does not exist anymore. The old Pac-12 teams are now scattered between the Big 10, Big 12, and ACC. And this is insane because how could you have a Pacific Coast team join an Athletic Coast Conference? That just doesn't make any sense. Also, Oklahoma and Texas join the SEC and SMU join the ACC. So to start off, where I would go about fixing these conferences. First and foremost, now there is a Power 4, but soon there will be a Power 6. And each conference will have 12 teams. I'll be using College Football 25 to help me accomplish this vision. Now, the first and the obvious one, I am putting the Pac-12 back together with the Oregons, the Washingtons, the Arizonas, and the Californias, and Utah. Plus, I'm taking BYU out of the Big 12 and putting them in the Pac-12 because I feel like having BYU makes a lot more sense than having Colorado. So now you can still have the Holy War, but in the Pac-12. The championship game will also be held in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium. Now, I just stripped 4 teams from the Big 10, bringing them down to 18 to 14, but I'm about to strip 3 more. Bye-bye, Nebraska, Maryland, and Rutgers. I have now just returned the Big 10 to its original form with 10 teams, but I'm keeping Penn State, so 11, and I'm adding Notre Dame because it just makes sense. There is no reason why Notre Dame should be fooling with ACC teams. They're in Indiana. But now, all the major Indiana teams are in one conference: Notre Dame, Indiana, and Purdue. And the rivalries that Notre Dame brings to this conference are going to be insane. Now, I sent Maryland back to the ACC to reduce them down from 17 to 12. I obviously took out Cal and Stanford, but I also removed Pitt, SMU, Syracuse, and Louisville. I will tell you what I did with those teams later. The ACC is now back with just Atlantic Coast teams plus Georgia Tech, but they are just fine right there. Now, for the only conference that I feel like lost some star power or aura is the SEC. The only thing I did here was remove the schools from the outskirts of the conference region, but they are actually big losses for the SEC. Texas and Texas A&M are 2 front runners for the SEC championship game this year that will play each other this week. Oklahoma just killed Alabama, and Missouri hasn't looked all that horrible recently. They beat Ohio State last year in the Cotton Bowl. Overall, though, I think the conference will still be just fine. Now, for the conference that I feel that benefits the most, the Big 12. I have now restored the Big 12 to what it should have been this whole time. The Kansas schools, the Oklahomas, the Texas schools, Missouri, Colorado, Nebraska, and Iowa State. The Big 12 is now actually 12 teams. Bringing this conference back together brings a lot of rivalries back, like Kansas and Missouri, Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State, and the Texas versus A&M rivalry, which is now back in the Big 12. And you guys are still probably all wondering where did I put Pitt, SMU, Louisville, and some of the Big 12 teams I removed like TCU, West Virginia, and UCF. Well, it's time for the last conference in the Power 6. The new revamped American Athletic Conference is where I put the New York teams as well as the newer Big 12 teams. Also keeping Tulane because I think they're a strong brand and have a strong football team. They will also be an ACC championship game this year. All these teams I felt like did not necessarily belong in their previous conferences, but I feel like they have a great new place here in the new revamped ACC conference. Their conference title game will be held at MetLife Stadium in New York City. And as for the teams that are actually in the American Conference this season, they have all been distributed to now the group of 4 conferences, and we will not be talking about those today. But actually, hang on. I think I'm getting a call right now. Game show in 30 seconds. Yeah, okay, guys. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to play guessing games. Here's your host, Cooper Hannon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back here with another episode of Guessing
games. I'm your host, Cooper Hannon. Oh, what's going on?
Cooper, you're doing this every week, man.
What?
It's every
That's
week.
what the fans like.
Fans need something new.
So what do you got?
You know what? Go over there. Go over there. Just
What?
you're gonna be the contestant today.
You know what? Fine. All right. Whatever. Sure.
Yeah, go over there. Let's see if you can win it.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm your host, Grant Shear, and today, what are they working with? Odd Sport Trivia. Are you two ready? Let's meet the contestants.
My name is Jacob. I'm here for the second week in a row. I'm very excited to be 2-0 and capture my second victory on the game show.
I'm Cooper Hannon. I guess I'm on the game show. I thought I was going to be your host this evening, but you know what? I'll just win, and so.
You know what? Regardless, I am very honored to be playing the host of the game show.
First time, you know what? Best of luck.
Yep, you too. You too.
All right, you know what, Grant? Let's see.
All right, for the first question. The Jacksonville Jaguars are currently first in line for the first overall pick in this year's NFL draft. What is the name of the team that most recently went back-to-back #1 picks in a 2-year span?
Wait, I didn't even read the question. The Bears? Wait, no.
The Bears would not be correct. Cooper.
You're getting me good here. I'm going to say, shoot, I feel like this is recent too. This is kind of brutal. I feel like I should know this. I'm going to say you know what? Give me no, it's not the Jets. Let's do the Panthers would have had it. Let's say the Giants. I don't know.
The Giants is unfortunately not the right answer. It was the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence in 2021 and Trayvon Walker in 2022.
We don't get second chances to answer?
Not yet. Not yet. All right, the second question. Okay. With countless superstars in the NBA today, it's not a surprise that this year's MVP is going to get hectic. With that being said, who is the only NBA player to unanimously win the MVP?
Michael Jordan.
No.
I'll say Jokic. I'll say Nikola Jokic.
No. Stephen Curry in 2016. We are off to a rough start, gentlemen.
This is why I host.
Very rough start. All right, the third question. KU is known for basketball. The sport was invented by Dr. Naismith himself. With that being said, what ball was basketball originally played with? And bonus points if you can tell me what the hoop was made out of.
Okay, I know the hoop was a basket. I know it was a basket.
Okay.
So I don't know if I just get a bonus point for that, but I know it was a basket. I'm going to say that the basketball, was I think it was some sort of fruit. I'm going to say maybe a grape. No, not a grape. I don't know, watermelon?
No.
Wait, no.
All right, you got the bonus point right. Jacob, would you like to guess what the ball was?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, not a clue. Like a volleyball? I don't know.
Volleyball's close. It was a soccer ball. You know, since this is a rough start, we're gonna give Coop that one bonus point.
Peach, I knew
it was a peach basket. So, all right.
I knew there was a fruit.
Jumping in to the fourth question. March Madness. College students love it, and the professors hate it. We've seen all kinds of teams and players win big, but we've also seen some big-time losers. Who is the only power conference team to have never won a game in March? There is one team
from the state. Okay.
In March that has never won a game.
Bonus if you can
people
tell
from Illinois. Give me a buzz. I'll do. Why don't we say Illinois?
It is not Illinois.
Okay. You got a shot here, I guess.
I don't know.
3 people.
3 people. 3 members are from this state.
They're from this state, and this team in that state has never won a game in March.
K-State.
No, wait a minute. Can I come back for seconds? Can I come back for seconds?
Yes, we're gonna start going back for seconds.
Give me Nebraska.
It is Nebraska. Yes. And then you're not gonna get the bonus point, but it is Tyler Brewer,
I could have named
Alex, and myself.
Okay.
All right. What do we have next? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Triple points. This is anyone's game.
Is it 2-0?
It's 2-0.
Boy.
Jacob, you have a chance to win this. Coop, you can hold off and you can do the sweep. All right, let's see what it is. The NFL has been trying to expand its international boundaries in recent years. With over 35 plus games played outside of the U.S., London has seen the most. But what country has seen the second most NFL games?
Was that me? Me?
Yes.
I'm going to say Germany.
Germany is not right. Jacob, for a chance to win the game, what country has played the second most NFL games, disregarding the United States?
Mexico.
Mexico is close. We're going to start again. Coop.
What? Let me get Brazil.
No. Jacob, one more try.
Wait. Where do they play games?
London.
Germany. Mexico.
Thank you, Grant, for that amazing game show. And this Thursday is Thanksgiving, and what's more American than some backyard football?
Get this, I just got to get this route because I'm not fast. I'm not a runner by any means.
Lock down on D.
No chance.
Bruh.
Not fast. I'm not a runner by any means.
I don't think you have any idea how fast I really am.
Thank you for tuning in to Backyard Thanksgiving Football. Hope you all have an amazing Thanksgiving. Now here's Gabe.
Thanks, Ben. I would love to say that one of us made the play of the week, but sadly we could not compete with Spurs forward Keldon Johnson. Listen, I will never try to say that I'm an NBA guy, but I do know that when you sit one dude down like that and then put two more on a poster, oh my goodness. Anything else catch your eye this week, Ryan?
Let's talk about Thanksgiving football because I didn't really plan for talking about this past week. I didn't think of anything, but
that's all right. It's all right.
I guess for football, I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving football. I'm looking to the Dolphins-Packers game actually. Dolphins have scored 20-plus points in a 5 games since Tua has been back. They're on a 3-game winning streak right now. I think that'll be a fun game.
I don't know. I think the best game of the day is going to be the 11:30 slot. It's going to be Bears-Lions, and those are two pretty electric teams right now. Teams that a lot of people have high hopes for different reasons. Give what you will, but I'm excited for Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, and I'm ready to eat, ready to get some turkey in me, and let's do this. Well, folks, thanks for joining us again for another great show, and happy Thanksgiving from all of us here at the studio. Good morning, KU Sports and Playmakers will be back in 2 Fridays.
And we'll be right back here next Monday. Let's run it back. Take care.